some level of peace and stability for the growth of our country.
All right. The governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, is not a happy man. Governor Zulum has raised an alarm over renewed attacks by Boko Haram terrorists on farmers in communities within the states. In the condolence visits to 5 communities in Jere and Mafa local government areas, where 8 farmers were killed, Governor Zulum alleged sabotage of efforts of the government to restore security to the troubled states. Jere, can you please give us an update on what is happening in Borno State? For some time now, we felt that the large-scale attack on military barracks and everything would have subsided considerably. But with this attack on soft targets by Boko Haram, these Boko Haram guys, it shows that, look, they still have the capacity to wreak havoc.
Yes, of course, they can still kill our people. There's no doubt about it. They can still attack remote villages. They can even still kill soldiers using IEDs. But their capacity to engage the army in pitched battles has literally been taken away. We no longer see them marching through the streets, moving from community to community. If they try to move from community to community in large numbers, they will be spotted and Tucano will serve them justice. So they know that, and a good number of their commanders have been taken out through precision bombing by Tucano jets. So right now, they even don't have the kind of equipment that they used to have, because the equipment that they were stealing from the army. You know, good number of them were stolen from the army. Whenever they attack an army base, they will steal equipment and they became stronger and stronger, you know. So these days, they do not have that capacity anymore, and they can only attack farmers. In communities where the governor has relocated people as a result of the dawn of peace, these guys quietly sneak into those communities and kill people working on the farms. What they are trying to do is to ensure that people do not have the confidence to go to their farms and work. That people do not have the confidence to even relocate to communities where the governor has made up his mind to resettle people. So this is meant to just frighten the people, but we know that this is what they are capable of doing at this time. If we check, they've killed a lot of farmers, even scavengers, people looking for picking steel, picking steel from refuse dump and all that. You know, they've killed a lot of such people, picking up iron sheets and all that. They just, if you step out of some of the IDP camps by maybe a kilometer, they can kill you. But they have lost the capacity for mass murder, like we saw previously. And these are the people that they can attack. Now, innocent farmers go into those farms, kill them. So it means that there's a lot more that government can do to protect the people. Governor Zulum set up the Agro Rangers. Agro Rangers is made up of civil defense men, hunters, civilian JTF. Their duty is to protect people in the farms so that people can have the confidence to work on their fields and produce food. But if they are killing people the way they are doing, and these communities are not really far from the state capital. Mafa local government is very close to the state capital. Mona, where they also kill people, is very close to the state capital. You know? So if they can go to this extent, you can imagine what they can do to our people in distant communities far away from the seat of government. So the forest rangers, the agro rangers need to be more effective, provide enough cover for our people so that they can freely work in their farms and produce food.
So we still, what we think that this new government will just come and mop up the remnant of this Boko Haram guys. I think we've had it enough since 2009, since they don't have the capacity to actually face our soldiers in battles and everything. Now we really need soldiers to come together and really get the strategy, the remnant of these guys, to bring their reign of terror to an end.
Yes, towards the end of the time of the last regime, everything seems to have come down a bit, especially within that area. But we are seeing a resurgence. And I want to believe that this is what happens when you are seeing a change of guard. But good enough, the president got it right. The new chief of army staff, General Lagbaja, is somebody that knows that terrain very, very well. Then also, the chief of defense staff also is also somebody that knows that terrain very, very well. So I'm sure that being an area that they know very well, I'm sure there's going to be some level of new strategy that has to be put in place. And don't forget that the chief of army staff has just appointed some new GOCs, including the head of the military formation in Borno State. And let's see what happens in the next few days and what we'll be able to do. But it's not just about Borno only. We saw what is happening in Plateau State. The killing is going on. We also see what is going in Benue State. The killing is also going on. So let the emphasis not just be only on Borno. It's going on in Plateau State, as we are saying. It's also going on in Benue State.
Well, I think it's true that the capacity of Boko Haram has reduced drastically. But from what we are seeing, it also shows that the group is not dead. And just like you have said, I commend the current governor of Borno State. I think even though I've been to Borno only once in recent times, but we can feel the impact of, his investment in education and, and industrialization of the state. However, I think that two things that we need to take into consideration. The fact that the root cause of terrorism, which is lack of access to opportunities, economic opportunities. In Borno State, for instance, we have about 1.8 million children that are out of school. And if you look at areas where we have insurgency, Yobe, Zamfara, Borno, they have the lowest GDP in Nigeria. Yobe, for instance, has the lowest GDP in Nigeria. People don't have access to education. Unemployment rate in Borno State is about 43%, 43.25%. So all these things are linked together. We should not just be thinking of military solutions. We also need to know that Boko Haram continues to draw, sympathy from the large layers of unemployed people who have no access to education, who have no access to opportunity, who have no access to food. And we should also be very conscious of the crisis. We should show interest in the crisis going on, in those areas that are around Borno, especially in Sudan, where about 400,000 displaced people are now in Chad, which is very close to us. And also in Niger. Don't forget, Niger shares border with Algeria and southern part of Libya. The fall of Gaddafi, spoiled the strength of Boko Haram, because a lot of mercenaries with their guns came to start training them and giving them weapons. So what is going on in Khartoum, in Darfur, must be of interest to us. We must, spread our intelligence antenna to ensure that there is no, influx of armed rebels, rebel groups from these areas into Nigeria. So it's both a security issue and also an economic issue that I think we need to address as a country.
All right.